Okay, so now that our plate is inked, now we're going to prepare the paper for the printing. In etching, we put quite a bit of water on the paper and take it off with a sponge and let it be completely absorbed. But as I explained in the first video, this plate is very sensitive to water. In fact, water will seriously destroy the surface of the plate. So we don't use much water when we spray the paper, almost none. And the best way to do it is to spray the paper like 5 or 10 minutes before you're going to print, because that way the paper absorbs the water, and there's even less possibility that the plate will be affected by the water. Now I use a very fine sprayer, ultra fine mister, and I stand approximately 2 feet from the paper and spray up above it and try to get just a simple, level, easy amount of water, not very much. Now, if you use too much and it pools, you can use a sponge to even out. And even then, I would definitely wait even longer before so that extra water gets absorbed. Now, I've messed up a number of plates, too many plates, and I'm going to, be even more careful. So what I use on top of the paper is a spray called mold release. This one is called S-E-L-S-I-L, mold release. It's not water-based, because that would destroy the whole thing. And I put a very slight surface of the spray on the paper, just to be extra sure that the paper will not stick to my plate because there's too much water. So I stand 2 feet away and I try aim, and I get a surface with this mold release. Now the paper is ready to be printed on. Okay, so now we're ready to actually print. So I carried the plate over to the press, being sure not to put any fingerprints or finger marks on the surface. Carried it underneath. And but if you do, you can always take a piece of tissue paper and just do the little part where you think your finger might have been. Now here's the paper that I primed. I put it over, and I come around, and then I adjust the pressure. So on my press, you need quite a bit of pressure because the plate is so thin. So every press is a little different, of course, but I experiment with the press, with the pressure, and I mark it down so that I know for the next time. Use a little paper to protect the blankets, and we're ready to roll. Now, I don't know what this one's going to look like. We just did it very quickly. Let's see. First good news is it didn't stick. The bad news is that the ink wasn't dense enough, so I got a very light impression. So what I do with this print is I use it for a monoprint. Because it's light, it's very good to use it with watercolor, gouache, or tempera paint. So I will then take my plate and re-ink it until I get the right black, dense color that I want. So I never throw away a print. I always reuse it again in a different way. And that's really the way I print with unexposed X-rays. So for example, here's the plate that I used, and here are numbers of proofs that I turned into monoprints. Same with all of these here. They were all X-ray prints that weren't quite right, so I just used them with tempera or gouache and wound up with monoprints. So this is Mark Shanker at Mark Shanker, Mark with a C, SHANKER.com. That's my website. Thank you for tuning in to this series of videos on YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, please use YouTube or use my email, and I'll be glad to help if I can. So thank you again, and bye.